this afternoon, I want to talk about John chapter 1, verses 1 through 18. Uh, John introduces Jesus in a miraculous way. He shows Jesus as being eternal and pre-existent. See, a lot of people think that Jesus was human and that was his only form, yes, and then we hear Jesus as God and we kind of agree to that, but why do we agree to it? Well, God's word shows us why we should agree to it, and John shows us here exactly the reasons behind it. See, God is Jesus, Jesus is God, and he was there during the creation. It says that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word became flesh, meaning that Jesus was born as a human. Now, see, Jesus being born as a human still meant that he was fully God while he was fully human. Now, see, here's the problem with the rest of the humans. We're not fully God. We're not even partially God or any type of gods. Matter of fact, we're sinful, which is the opposite of anything God could ever be. So, what happens is through sin, and not even our own sin, because Adam and Eve sinned, our relationship between us and God has been broken. And I said it last week, but there's really no way to fix it ourselves. There's no way to fill or, mend that gap or mind that gap between us and God other than Jesus Christ. And that's exactly why he stepped out of heaven and was born into human flesh. He stepped out of heaven so that he could come to earth, live a perfect life, a full, righteous, and holy life, and not do anything opposing or conflicting to God. Live this perfect life out, and then at the end of his life, he would go to die for us. Now, see, him being that perfect, unblemished lamb, that is the reason why he could fill that gap. Him being fully God was the only one that could take on God's wrath as punishment and not be eternally damned to hell. See, for us, it means this, that Jesus didn't only die for us, Jesus took that wrath, right? So for us, we might not necessarily have to face a cross, a crucifixion. We may live to 85 and to just die, but what it comes down to is that Jesus actually took on the wrath of God, meaning what would normally we would face and then be put into eternal damnation in hell, Jesus took that on for us so that we don't have to. He filled that gap. He paid that price. It was bought with his blood. Now, see, there's nothing that we could do to fix that. We don't have that precious, perfect, righteous, holy blood. No, we have a broken, sinful state of heart. And yet Jesus comes to restore and to fix. So, as you work through your small group lesson tonight, that's linked in this video, I pray that you see that Jesus is the only one that can mind the gap. We're working through a series called Who Needs Jesus? Well, anybody that desires to have a relationship with God needs Jesus. That's the simple answer to that. You see, for us to have a relationship with God, we have to know Jesus Christ. And for us to know Jesus Christ is to follow him and to faithfully trust him with our lives and to let him guide our lives. And that's by his examples that he showed while he was here on earth. Guys, we all need Jesus. He's the one that minds the gap between us and God.